Bounds pretty quickly. Kamari Lassiter makes the tackle. Let's take a look at Auburn's starting lineup. Now, Bigsby's the key for everybody. He runs hard, and he runs hard even before he gets to the line of scrimmage.
If he's not the best running back in the SEC, he's close to it. And as he goes, so goes this offense. The front five, that offensive line have got to make some holes for him for Auburn to be successful today.
It's led by the center, Brandon Council, who was moved to center just a couple of weeks ago. A gain of 3 on 2nd and 7. They give it to Bigsby again. He's into some traffic, and he gets up to the 29-yard line. It'll be 3rd down. All right, so let's take a look at the Georgia defense. You know, Dumas Johnson has had a heck of a start to this year. Noel Smith is the vocal leader. Dumas Johnson, he is the guy that gets things done at the backer position.
When you think about the guys that he's having to replace, right? N'Kobe Dean, Channing Tindall, Quay Walker. That's a lot expected for this linebacker position, but he's off to a terrific start this season.
He's taken such a leadership role for the Bulldogs. It's 3rd down and 6. Ashford again out of the gun. Bigsby next to him in motion. Ashford looks left, hitches, he can run, and he dives forward. Dangerous, but he looks like he's close to a 1st down.
This is exactly what they want from Robbie Ashford. They break and get into empty, which means you can see now it's just a 5-man box and he moves the middle linebacker with his eyes and is able to use his speed to get the 1st down.
It is a 1st down up to the 35-yard line. He gets it to Bigsby again. Bigsby is met behind the line of scrimmage and snuffed out almost immediately.
If Bryan Harsin could have his way, he would be able to run the ball on 1st down all day long, but it's just not going to be the case. They're going to have to mix in some throws, some play action chances to stay ahead of the chains. 2nd down and long is going to be a tough call for Eric Keesaw, their offensive coordinator.
JDJ in on the tackle for the Bulldogs. He got some help, though, too. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Little shifting on the defensive line. Whistles blow and flags come up. That shifting may have caused Auburn to jump.
This is what can't happen for Auburn.
Offense, number 6, 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
Coaches call these self-inflicted wounds, Tom. You just can't go backwards if you're trying to stay ahead of the chains.
And that's part of the reason, as Sherry said, that they had all those speakers at practice this week, because they were trying to duplicate this atmosphere, but it's hard to duplicate.
When Arkansas came here last year, there were 3 procedure calls in their opening drive. It is very difficult, and remember, this is Auburn's 1st trip on the road.
Smile Munden on the sidelines. They weren't sure if he would go or not today for Georgia. 2nd down and 15. Ashford looking to throw, middle of the field, overthrows his intended receiver. It was intended for Kenny McIntosh, it was intended for Johnson, who's an excellent receiver.
Yes, you could, and this is one of the problems with a young quarterback. He's going to stare at his receiver the entire way. He brings the linebacker right into the throwing lane, and to get it over him, he misses the entire read.
All right, so this is what Bryan Harsin did not want. 3rd down and 15.
And look for him to be conservative here. Look for him to be careful. You do not want to turn the ball over early in a game with this kind of raucous environment.
Bigsby in the backfields. There's a man in motion on 3rd down and long. Ashford under pressure, trying to break away. He's in a little bit of trouble. Throws on the run, just throwing it away. Great pursuit. Nolan Smith was the one who shuttled him out of bounds.
It's possible they could look at this to see if the ball got past the line of scrimmage. It may be intentional grounding, but it looks as if they're going to say it got there.
All right, so Georgia's going to get the football back after a drive that didn't even last 3 minutes. McConkey's back deep to receive. Don't forget, he's got a sore toe, but he is going to play today. Oscar Chapman, who's been very good punting the football. This one looks like it hit a wall. McConkey will take it inside number 0 for the Bulldogs. I thought he had an excellent game last week against Missouri.
They have a couple of unicorns playing the tight end position.
On 1st down for the 35-yard line. McIntosh in the backfield. He'll take it first. And McIntosh gets a couple of yards.
That was an offensive, beautiful play by Nehemiah Pritchett here as we look at the Georgia offense. We just talked about Kenny McIntosh. Listen, he's one of the great Georgia running backs. We've had a slew of them over the last decade. But what makes him special, he's a weapon out of the backfield. Remember James Cook from a year ago? He's already got 22 catches on the season.
In motion is Edwards out of the backfield. Bowers stretched out wide in that bunch formation on second down and 7. Stetson Bennett with quick toss, and it's in and out of the hands of Bowers, incomplete. It'll be third down. All right, let's take a look at this Auburn defense. They've kind of changed it up a little bit. They're going with what they technically say a 4-2-5 in the setup.
Well, because they're playing so many spread offenses, right? It's basically nickel defense. And their leader is Derek Hall. Derek Hall had 3 sacks in the Iron Bowl a year ago. He's a gifted guy. But now they're playing a little Where's Waldo with him. Look for him to move all over the place trying to find the right matchup.
And don't forget about Colby Wooden also. Wooden's on the left side. Hall's on the right side. McConkey's in motion for the Bulldogs on third down and 7. Bennett, pressure's coming, steps up in the pocket, loops it to McConkey, and McConkey shy of the first down. Donovan Kaufman, the sophomore from New Orleans, makes the tackle.
That is a fabulous tackle to keep him short of the sticks. It'll be interesting to see what Kirby does here early in the game. Looks like the offense is staying on the field.
Well, they're 4 for 4 going for it on fourth down.
Here they come.
I was going to say, this is a little early to do this.
You weren't ready for that.
No,
yet,
I wasn't.
Tom? Okay. When you have a defense which has the kind of strength, especially against an offense that's struggling, this is the right play to play field position this early in the game.
Don't forget last week, Keontae Scott muffed a punt and a kickoff. He's been fielding them all week long. He calls for the fair catch and dives forward at the 15-yard line. Well, open possessions for both teams.
One of the things Brian Harsin told us, when you have a unique athlete, they feel like they can outrun everybody. One of his problems is he keeps running for the sideline. You're not going to outrun the Georgia defense. Kirby Smart learned one thing for sure from Nick Saban, how to recruit. These guys can run from sideline to sideline as well as anybody. He's going to have to climb in the pocket and make plays like he did early for that first down.
Are they going to go conservative here on third down and 10 from the 15?
Look for kind of a quick throw, maybe a catch and run type of thing, maybe an RPO, but you're backed up again. You've got to be careful with a young quarterback.
Yeah, they're averaging just under 9 yards on third down this year. On third down, whistles blow and flags come in. And I think we're going to get another false start.
False start. Offense, number 71. 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
That's Brandon Council, the center, too.
Arkansas had 3. Auburn's now at 2. You don't think the crowd matters? It matters.
Hey, you saw Council flinch a little bit.
He's their 4th center. I mean, here's a young man that has moved all 5 positions. He is the 4th center that's played this year, starting from spring ball. Remember, Nick Brahms retired. Complicated when your center and quarterback are so inexperienced.
Third down at 15. Ashford takes the soft snap. He's at the goal line, and he throws underneath. He's got his tight ends. And Samuel Schenker gets up to the 18-yard line. He got some yards back, but not enough. It'll be fourth down.
It's just yards added to the punt, Tom. It's a beautiful play. Get it out of there. Play field position. This is what you're trying to do. Schenker is one of the leaders on this team. It was a nice move to make somebody miss and get a few more yards added to this punt.
Gain of 7 yards, and here's Chapman to punt for the second time. McConkey back deep to receive at the 38-yard line. Lets this one go. McConkey calls for the fair catch. This is going to be good field position for Georgia. He fumbled it! And it looked like he may have fallen on top of it. Now, that would have been disastrous for the Bulldogs, but it would have been part of...
Hurt you in so many ways. Right here, he's affixed to the line of scrimmage. He can move the pile. He can push around. He goes out as a wide receiver. He's outstanding out there, kind of a Travis Kelce kind of guy. And as a running back, 3 carries, 3 touchdowns. You're smart to hand him the ball.
That's absolutely right. Those 3 carries for 3 touchdowns are 82 yards in the making. He is from Napa, California. We asked Kirby Smart, how hard was it to recruit him to come here? Because he's from the West Coast. He said it really wasn't hard at all. A lot of it was over Zoom.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he recruited him, and you also go out there and find a nice rosé, too.
That's right. On first down for the 43-yard line. In the backfield is Kendall Milton, excuse me. And Milton will run to his right. He's got some blockers, and Milton gets across midfield inside Auburn territory.
As you watch this run, you're going to see what we call gap scheme, which is pulling the backside offensive line. You're blocking down on the front side, pulling from the backside. This is what they did against Missouri to get back in the game, and it's one of the hallmarks of the Georgia running game.
Yeah, gain of almost 8 yards. It'll be second down and 2 from just inside midfield. McIntosh checks in for Milton. Rosemy Jack Saint is on the near side wearing number 1. Bennett throws to his left for McConkey, and McConkey's got a first down to the 44-yard line. DJ James in on the tackle.
This is the maturity that Stetson Bennett has as a quarterback. He was looking for a wheel route out of the front side. He doesn't get it. He comes all the way back to the other side, finds his pal Lad McConkey, and makes a play. When you can get through your reads as quickly as he is, it's easy to call throws, which is why they may be a little top-heavy in that department.
In motion out of the backfield is McIntosh on first down just inside the 45-yard line. Quick toss to McIntosh. He grabs it out of the air, but then he's met immediately. Well, that is excellent pursuit by the Auburn defense. Jason Jones was there.
This is one of the problems when you're trying to throw it quick from the gun. You can see he didn't have the laces here. He's just trying to catch the ball and throw it. It's like a hot potato, and you can see how it wobbles in the air. And this is a great job by McIntosh making the play in traffic.
Yeah, Marcus Bragg was also there to make that play for Auburn. Teddy McIntosh, 22 receptions. Most receptions by a running back through 5 games. Look, Garrison Hurst on that list. Bowie's on that list. They throw it to him again. McIntosh, nothing there. DJ James just pushed off his block to make the tackle.
Fantastic job by DJ James. He becomes the edge defender because this is nothing more than a sweep. They just threw it out there, had everybody out trying to make plays. DJ James has to get it back to his help. Does an unbelievable job of getting this back down.
It's funny, too. Rosemy Jack Saint came out of that pile for Georgia and said, my bad. That was my fault on the block. On third down, Bennett has plenty of time, zips it to his left, and it's incomplete. He was trying to find Bowers, but Donovan Kaufman broke it up.
Second big play by Donovan Kaufman. He's made the tackle on the last third down to stop the drive. Here he goes up and gets the ball away from Bowers. Outstanding third down defense, which we said they were playing in the last 2 games coming in.
Jeff Schmetti, the defensive coordinator, to we mentioned that Brian Harsin certainly been under the microscope during his time at Auburn. He spoke after the LSU loss just kind of about that.
How confident are you that you'll be allowed to finish out the season as Auburn's head coach?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's my job. You know, every day is to show up and make sure that I'm prepared and that we get this football team prepared. I mean, that doesn't change. So we'll handle what we can control. We'll work on the things that we can do to get better. And then we'll go out there and get ourselves ready for this next week, learn from this game, and move on to Georgia and get ready to play them.
Yeah, we asked Brian Harsin about it. He said, control what you can control, essentially, is his message to his team and really to his family as well.
Listen, the narrative out there is this is a fait accompli. This is just a matter of time before somebody else is in charge of Auburn football. But don't tell that to the staff, and don't tell that to these Auburn players. They are fighting tooth and nail, and that's why it's interesting to see them in this us against everybody else on the road.
Ashford hands the ball off, and some positive yards up across the 10-yard line. Nolan Smith makes the tackle. You know, Brian Harsin told us, you know, there's the timeline. He told us that when he was at Boise State, he was the offensive coordinator. They're unbeaten. He kept getting phone calls from some guy telling him how bad he was at his job. He said, so if you're good, you still get people that criticize you. If you're bad, it's still the same.
Sean Kugler, his old coaching mate, who's now the offensive line coach there for the Arizona Cardinals, became, hey, who is that guy?
Yeah.
He went and handled it.
Yeah, he went and found him.
He needs Sean Kugler, but there may be more than just one guy calling right now. But, heck, how do you calm him down? You go win on the road at Georgia.
Third down and 2. Big play here in the first quarter. 6:15 to play. Ashford, he can run for the first down. He's going to get the first down and more as he dives forward close to the 28-yard line.
This is vintage Ashford. This is what a running quarterback will do for you. He's looking for a little stick route there to the left. Nothing gives. And you can see how gifted he is as an athlete, running right around Ryan Davis right there at the linebacker position.
Yeah, Davis had him in his sights, but just couldn't wrap him up. So 2 carries, 22 yards, including 16 on the last one. On first down, he throws. Pass is incomplete.
These are the kind of self-inflicted wounds that Auburn has to absolutely avoid. You have a chance for a little RPO right here. You've got Coy Moore wide open. He's got to make that catch. What he's thinking about is run after the catch. Just make the catch.
Yep.
Keep the chains moving.
Yeah, Chris Smith was there, but he was a couple yards behind him on second down. Ashford. Yeah, that's incomplete.
Yeah, this is the inexperience now of a young quarterback. That's what we call a quick route. It's not a fastball. We talked about him being a baseball player. He's winding up and throwing a 95-mile-an-hour shot. Just play catch. That guy's wearing the same color uniform. Give him the ball. Get yourself into third and manageable. Here we go with 3rd and 10 again.
For the 29-yard line. Here comes the pressure. There's some flags there. We're going to get holding on Auburn.
Another escape to the side, another throwaway. Great pressure by this Georgia defense. Going to result in a punt. If, in fact, this is holding.
Holding. Offense. Number 65. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
Yeah, so Alec Jackson called for the holds. So number 65.
Take a look. He's going to be the one that comes off the double team. I guess it was the center. And then he tried to give it the wings. I didn't do it. That's my favorite. Those offensive line. It wasn't me, Coach.
No, we've got flags coming in. We have movement again. They average 54 yards of penalties. But that's their
Number
third.
13. 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
Third false start, Coach.
Yeah. It's hard. I mean, listen, first time on the road, you're playing with a new. Now, this isn't a new center as the long snapper, but it is complicated when all your machinations now are being done in noise.
Chapman gets this one off. McConkey pushed back to the 31-yard line, trying to make a man miss, and he does make the first one miss, but the second one, Martin Lester is there to take him down. Get nonstop sports news, expert picks, and the biggest highlights on CBS Sports HQ, the free 24/7 Sports News Network. Download the CBS Sports app to watch.
We talked about third down proficiency, both offense and defense, for Auburn to stay in this game. First down's the key down. If they do not do anything on first down, then second down almost always becomes a run. That gets snuffed out because they know you're going to try to run the ball to make it a shorter third down, and they've been left in a lot of third and long situations.
For Georgia, just 21 yards on the first 2 possessions. They hand the ball off. Robinson breaks a few tackles and gets out toward the first down marker. Zion Puckett made the tackle for Auburn.
Beautiful tackle by Puckett, but here's that gap. See the pullers. The first one will kick out. The second one will lead through. And what a beautiful thing. Downhill football. And I promise you, Kirby Smart is going, that's what I'm talking about, boys. Downhill football.
He's got 4 different running backs that he rotates in. That was Robinson, the freshman. This is Edwards, the junior, who's in. Dejon Edwards. He also can catch the ball out of the backfield.
He was great in that final drive against Missouri.
And they give it to him. He's got the first down and more. Inside Auburn territory, lowers his shoulder and gets to the 35, and the pile is moved down to the 30-yard line.
You hear this crowd? You see that offensive line go down and finish the job? Just beautiful. All right, we've talked about gap schemes. Now this is zone. You're going to just everybody moving. You keep picking people off, and the running back finds his lane. It's one cut and downhill. Edwards is beautiful. Look at him lower his pads to finish the drive, and here comes the artillery to move it.
Gain of 27 yards. It's first down, close to the 30. Bowers in motion. They hand it off again. Edwards, and Edwards spins. Let's go down to Sherry Burse.
As this week, quarterback Stetson Bennett reminding his team they're still Georgia. And what he meant by that was they're the run through your mouth, make you remember them kind of team, and particularly wanting to look like that old school Georgia in your face. We're still used to seeing them run the ball, and Stetson reminding his guys this week, mentally think like you're at practice in this game already against Auburn.
Yeah, he did assure us that we would see that this week, and on that particular play, we certainly did. On second down. Bennett. Oh, there's the big old tight end, Darnell Washington. He is a load. And he gets close to another first down at the 21-yard line. How about his size, Coach? 6'7", 270. Poor Donovan Kaufman did all he could to try to make that tackle.
As they hurry back up to the line of scrimmage, they went to Las Vegas for him. So it was wine in Napa and roulette in Las Vegas to get these unicorn tight ends.
There's Milton, and a flag comes in. Milton has a first down for the moment, but we'll see who the penalty's against. It was thrown in the direction of Darnell Washington.
Kendall Milton from Fresno, California. Georgia, primarily from the southeast, will recruit, but when they take that plane and go across, everybody's paying attention. Kirby Smart, one of the best recruiters in all the land. I wonder where he learned it.
Personal foul, illegal block, low to waist, number 0 on the offense. 15-yard penalty, remains third down.
All right, so Big O, as they call him, is called for that penalty. He's hard to miss.
You can see him coming across. This is that zone block. They do not want you going into guys' legs anymore. They're trying to protect everybody with the knees. He's going across. You've got to stay up on that block from now on.
Yeah, Kirby Smart counseling him on the sidelines. He said, listen, he goes, the kid has done a great job. He's understood what he needs to do to be on the field. He's taking care of his body. He's good in the film room, all those things.
Those fundamentals have changed while he's been in school.
Yes.
That rule has changed while he's been in school.
Third down at 15.
3 down.
Bennett toward the end zone, and it's incomplete. And it looked like Auburn did jump.
Again, sophistication, right? You've got experience. You're an old hand.
Outside, defense, number 29 in the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty. Repeat third down.
Everybody uses the clap now for snap counts. They say you can hear that amidst all the noise. I'm still kind of befuddled by that, but that's exactly how they do it. And you can see that clap got the defense to jump.
Yeah, it was Derek Hall who jumps. The whole Where's Waldo thing, he was on the inside. Now he's lined up on the near side.
Empty formation, looking like some sort of man free. Donovan Kaufman kind of coming up, and there's the quarterback realizing it.
Third down and 10. Kaufman is shuttled away. Bennett throws low, and that's because Hall was there pressuring. So was Colby Wooden.
This is a throw Stetson Bennett wants back. He did a great job of maneuvering in the pocket, but he's got a guy coming across. You can see him right there, and he just doesn't get it. Just doesn't get it done.
All right, so a field goal attempt. But Lesney, he has not missed inside 50 yards this year. This will be a 47-yard field goal attempt. Good snap, good hole. Kick is on its way, end over end. Doesn't have enough, and it is no good. To the left, he hooked it with 2:18 to play here in the first quarter.
Podlesny coming into that kick was 12 of 13. So here you go. Auburn finding a way to get another drive with no points.
Looked like everything was clean. Bennett handled that snap. Pressure was coming, though, by Kaufman. You know, I said everything was clean. Bennett did have to turn his body a little bit.
Just a tear. And you don't know exactly from that angle where the laces were. But an inspired Auburn defense. They're playing great right now.
All right, so they get the ball back offensively. Ashford at quarterback. Darquez Hunter in the backfield. Ashford looking to throw, looking to run. He roams, and he'll take it himself, and he'll get close to a first down.
Coaches are saying, hey, listen, stay in the pocket, stay in the pocket. Now he gets 9-yard gain.
Right.
He's saying, Coach, but I can outrun him.
Yeah, Nolan Smith, number 4, was coming.
This was what we call a mesh pattern where they're crossing, and he really had guys. But again, such a young player. They were saying it's just now getting where his eyes are downfield. With this Georgia rush coming at him, you can understand why you might be seeing a little red.
So a gain of 9. It's 2nd down and 1. Hands the ball off. It's Hunter. And Hunter gets close to a first down, but there is a flag down. Ryan Davis makes the tackle for Georgia.
They love Jarquez Hunter.
Holding. Offense. Number 65. 10-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Well, Coach, you were on the sidelines for a long time. I mean, how much is this killing a head coach with all these penalties?
Self-inflicted wounds. Sitting there, 2nd down and 1. Let's move the change. Let's make the game shorter. Let's win the game of possession time. And now you're giving them a chance to get back in 2nd down and long. This is the down. And watch this. Eric Keesaw will be fairly conservative here, because he's going to try to get it to 3rd and 5 and manageable, so that they have a chance to make a first down.
5 penalties for 30 yards so far for Auburn. Hunter remains in the game in the backfield, along with Ashford. 3 receivers to the near side. Ashford, it's going to be a quarterback keep, so that's the conservative run. And he did get a few yards. Got up to the 34-yard line. Not much else.
3rd and 7. Listen, Holden Griner is his backup. The freshman quarterback has 3 passes in his career. How much you can afford for Robbie Ashford to run against the number 2 team in the country and one of the most physical defenses in the country is a question that Brian Harsin has to ask himself.
We're under a minute to play here in the first quarter. Scoreless, Georgia and Auburn between the hedges. Been a lot of defense so far. And a lot of Auburn penalties.
Man to man.
Moves the pocket. Throws on the run. Tried to get it to his tight ends. That was Tyler Fromm, a recognizable name here at Georgia. His brother was driving around campus the other day after a few tryouts. It'll be 4th down.
As Robbie Ashford matures at this position, this ball will have a little touch. We talked about fastballs. He's got room to lay it out to the field, but again, he throws a high velocity up in the strike zone type of throw, and Auburn can't come down with it. Just lay it out there and make that throw.
I think you asked Brian Harsin, is it still kind of like training camp with Ashford?
Yeah,
and he said yes.
Spring ball, it was Zach Calzada and TJ Finley getting the reps.
Right.
This young guy's just trying to learn on the run.
Oh, we got a fake punt. And they stopped him. It was Samuel Schenker who took the direct snap, and he didn't get enough. Georgia was there, prepared. It was Lightsey who made the tackle, and that is a gutsy call.
Great play by E.J. Lightsey, the young linebacker. But Harsin knows to beat these guys, you're going to have to take some chances. You recall Sam Pittman doing it. He just does see if they can hold him to at least 3.
Yeah, 2nd down and short. Bowers in motion behind the line of scrimmage. They hand the ball off to Milton, and Milton goes right up the middle, has a first down. That gets down to the 23-yard line.
59 yards rushing in the first quarter by Georgia. Here again, that zone play. You can see Brock Bowers. When he tries to come underneath, they end up wrapping around behind him. It looks like he's bouncing to air, and it ends up being a positive play for Georgia.
Yeah, Bowers was good on that. It looked like Broderick Jones, the left tackle, was good on that one too. Dejon Edwards in the ball game in the backfield. Bennett doesn't go under center that often, but he's going to go under center here on first down. And the 22, quick toss.
There's the reason.
Complete, yep.
This is what we call a smoke route. Okay, you come up, you've got a run play called, but you see them giving that kind of ground. You saw what happened when he tried to throw quick from the gun. He couldn't get the laces. So get under center. You get the ball to your receiver there, Rosemy St. Jack.
All right, so red zone has been a topic of conversation for the Georgia Bulldogs after their 7 for 7 against Oregon. Look at this. They're tied for 99th in the last 4 games in the red zone. McConkey's in motion. They hand the ball off. Edwards He bounces to the outside, and Edwards gets down close to the 10-yard line. Oh, he's still on his feet. He gets to the 5. He keeps his feet moving. More yards for the Bulldogs.
Nothing gets this crowd juiced than the infantry arriving and moving this pile. Holy smokes, there is the gap scheme. Come downhill, looking inside. Great eyes, great pad level, and now watch, here they come.
And there they go. It's a gain of 10 yards, and it was a gain of 5 after the pile. Edwards stays in the ball game. He has 1 rushing touchdown this year, no receiving touchdowns. And Bennett gives it to him again. Over the block of his center, gets down to the 1-yard line. It'll be 2nd and goal.
This is just an assert your will kind of drive, and look for them to try to run the same exact play. Here's zone again. Edwards just getting down low, behind, as the running back coaches say, running behind your pads. Low center of gravity, keep your feet moving, and this crowd's into it.
Okay, so it's a gain of 5 yards. This will be the 6th play of this drive after the fake punt failed. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 1. You figure Edwards has earned the right to get into the end zone here.
Here comes that sugar huddle.
Bennett taps his foot 1 time. Bowers in motion. They give it to Edwards. Not much there. Looking to his right, and he is snuffed out. What a great job by the defense.
Colby Wooden, what a great job. Look, the sugar huddle, Gus Malzahn made it famous when they run up to this line of scrimmage. So these guys have seen these plays over and over again, and Wooden just shoots in there and gets in the backfield and causes a stop. 3rd and goal here.
He is so good. Last week he was so good.
Beautiful scheme here. They know there's a where's Waldo going on that defense as to where 19 is. They move him into the kind of offset fullback position. He gets enough of the edge defender to get McIntosh into the corner of the end zone.
Yeah, he found Simpson and cleared him out, and once he did that, McIntosh was in for his 3rd rushing touchdown of the season. The running game dominated this drive. Edwards had 45 yards by himself on this drive. And the point after is good. But Leslie is now 23 of 23. And this was all after the fake punts by Auburn. Did it work?
You're trying to win a fan base over. You don't want to find yourself rolling the dice and coming up snake eyes.
Georgia up 7.
You're going to take care of it.
Scott calls for the fair catch. Legendary Georgia head coach Vince Dooley has been hospitalized. Former football coach was hospitalized with what was described as a mild case of COVID, according to a UGA athletic spokesperson. Dooley was supposed to make an appearance at the UGA bookstore today, which is what he normally does, and it's always great to see him. The Red Coat Band, if you remember, played Happy Birthday to him to mark his 90th birthday at the Oregon game in Atlanta last month. He was also at the Samford game. Such a special guy who had so many great years at Georgia, but it began at Auburn for him.
What a great coach. What a great ambassador for Georgia. Get well soon, my friend. Get well soon.
Flags come in, and again, 5 flags so far. Another false start for Auburn.
You know, I kept Vince Dooley up past midnight one time.
Offense, right tackle, 5-yard penalty. First down.
All right, we have some time, so we got to tell this story. So it's your first appearance.
Right here.
First start.
1983, Rick Neuheisel starting against the Georgia Bulldogs for UCLA.
Uga threw up on you.
Uga threw up on my cleats. We lose the game. Charlie Dean picks me off, goes 80 yards.
Charlie Dean.
And all Vince Dooley can remember is, you kept me up past midnight.
First down at 15. The pitch goes to Hunter. Hunter trying to go right, steps in. Not much there. Well, we have archives, just so you know. So here we go. We flash back to 1983. Look at the locks on Rick.
I missed my hair.
You and me both.
No, Charlie. No, not again.
Why didn't you track him down?
I was under a pile of dogs. That's what I was.
Just dumps it off underneath, and it is nearly intercepted. Boy, they're lucky. Hunter could not corral it. He bobbled it and went off the shoulder pads of somebody else.
Eric Keesaw's got to be sick upstairs because he had to set up beautifully, and yet the young quarterback is trying to move towards it and just doesn't give him a ball that he can handle. really, really set up play, and here we find ourselves in 3rd and 11. Now, I promise you, that 3rd and 11 box on Eric Kiesau's play chart is growing short.
2 for his last 10, 0 for his last 5, and now 3rd down and 11. Johnson in motion for Auburn. You figure Georgia's going to bring the house here. Now they do. And Ashford's just going to throw it away. He was basically running for his dear life on that. Xavier Sori was pursuing him. So was JDJ.
You're looking here, he's looking down to his left, and again, once he sees color, he's always going to run to his throw hand to the right, and there's nobody there. The entire pattern was to the left. What they're building for him are one half-field reads, and obviously when you escape away from the half-field, you're left with nothing.
Oh, now 4th down, and they'll punt the other team. Chapman will punt it to McConkey. McConkey is going to try to return this one. He makes one man miss. He's got some daylight, and he's going to spin his way inside Auburn territory, sidewinding his way inside the 35.
This is a great return. The edge defender of the punt coverage unit ends up missing. McConkey makes him miss the tackle, and once he gets around the edge, they build the wall for him.
45-yard punt, 38-yard return, snaking his way inside Auburn territory. Papo makes the tackle, fortunately.
Short field again. This is about where they got it after the fake punt. You cannot hand the number 2 team in the country short field.
Yeah, really good.
Expect to be able to talk about it after.
Really good field position on 1st down for the 31. Robinson, the freshman, is in the backfield for Georgia.
Quick strike time. Look for a chunks opportunity.
That's McConkey in motion. They give it to Robinson, running to his left. Robinson inside the 20 along the sidelines. Lowers his shoulder. He gets down inside the 10. Puckett knocked him out of bounds. How about the running game for Georgia in this 2nd quarter?
This is an unbelievable job up front. It's the gap scheme again. They've got the kick out. They've got the lead through. And young Mr. Robinson is taking advantage.
Number 9 running back.
They didn't need to throw to get the big play. And this crowd's enjoying the physical nature of what's happening on the field.
Well, that's what the Bulldogs said it was going to be like. So did Auburn. McIntosh checks back in. 23-yard gain. 1st and goal from the 8. They pitch it to McIntosh, running to his left, and he is bounced to the pylon. Did he get in? Nope, he's out of bounds at the 2-yard line. What a powerful runner. 7-yard gain.
He's not an overly big guy, but gosh almighty, does he run with some power. He's got I bet his weight room annex with his lower half, the squat rack and all, I bet he puts up some big-time numbers.
Caden Bridges was in on the tackle. It was really close to see whether he was out of bounds or not. They mark it inside the 1. Yeah, this play is blown dead.
That the runaway short goal line. Play is under review.
Yeah, it was close as to whether he was out of bounds, so it is under review. Well, let's take a look at some replays here, Rick. So where do you think he is?
This is all going to be based on where that knee goes down.
Right.
Obviously, he's reaching. He's on top of the defender, so he's technically not down.
Wow.
This is, you know who you go to for this kind of information? You
Who's
go to
that?
Gene, the review machine.
All right, well, Gene's watching. What do you think there, Gene? Was his knee down?
That's the first time I've been called Gene the review machine, but I like it, Coach. I've got his right knee down before he reaches. Yeah, it is. It is the right knee, and I think before he extends for the pylon, the right knee makes contact with the ground. Then he hits it, but I think he's a yard short.
All right, so maybe they do have it marked properly. Yeah, that's what we weren't sure was right there. Is the knee down? And the ref is right there. The side judge, he was taking a look at it.
At that spot.
All right, so they got it right. All right, so Gene will work on T-shirts for you from Rick's new nickname for you.
I just didn't know if you were a dancer, Gene. I knew you were a review absolute genius.
All right, so second
if
and
you're
goal.
playing the guitar, I'm dancing.
That's right.
Amen, brother.
Second and goal from the 1. See the yards per rush. It's definitely gotten higher over these last 2 series. Edwards is back in, so he'll be in the backfield for the Bulldogs.
Another opportunity just to assert your will. There's the sugar huddle.
Yep. Bowers in motion. Lines up as the offset fullback. They give it to Edwards, and Edwards into the end zone. Second straight score for the Bulldogs, up 13-0.
I am so impressed with Dajon Edwards' vision and his power. There is a absolute Auburn Tiger shooting, vectoring into the backfield on this touchdown, and watch him just make a little bit stop and start move and avoid the contact and get himself into the end zone. Beautiful job by a running back.
Again, they've gone to the ground over these last 2 drives. That's enabled them to get into the end zone and good field position too. But Lesney is on for the point after. Low snap handled by Bennett, and the point after is good. 24 for 24 on punt returns this year. Well, it all began with McConkey.
We talked about what was necessary for Auburn to get this.
Yeah, Edwards and Robinson in particular. Robinson, the freshman. They hand the ball off to Bigsby, and Bigsby trying to get something going. Nothing really there. He gets 2 yards. All right, you're a former quarterback. You were a coach in college football. What are you seeing from Ashford?
Well, this is called youth, inexperience. He's 3 of 13 right now. A lot of the throws have been forced. A lot of them have been available to him, but he doesn't have all the throws. He doesn't throw with all the dimension, but this is what you're left with. You have to bat 1,000 on first down here. Obviously, a nice start with 2 yards. They cannot go backwards.
And that one is tipped, and it's caught by the Tigers. How about that for a little luck?
Or sometimes you just get lucky.
Wow. Luke Deal had it. It went off his hands, and Samuel Schenker was able to back him up.
Look at the velocity. He throws a ball. The guy's literally 7 yards away from him. It's going about 99. You can understand why Deal doesn't handle it. But then you get your boy Schenker to dig it off the turf.
Senior from Albany, Georgia.
Take advantage. First down being key here for Auburn to climb back in this game.
It's the first completion in the last 7 passes for Ashford. And it's first down from the 38. Ashford hitches a little bit. He's got plenty of time. Now he rolls the pocket. And he's going to keep it himself. There is a flag in the backfield, though. So whatever positive yards he was able to get may be negated.
I want you to watch this replay after we heard the call.
Holding. Offense, number 77, 10-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Please join us here at CBS Sports as we proudly celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. All right, so now we're looking at 6 penalties for the Auburn Tigers, most of which have come on offense. And that just negated what was a positive run.
Yeah, and again, he had the opportunity to go north and south and make a big play with his legs. He keeps wanting to avoid to the sidelines, and it's a bad recipe for the Tigers.
Bigsby in the backfield. Ashford to throw again. Pass is complete. He found a man on the outside.
And just when you get frustrated, as a coach, he hits that pass, and you're going, nice job. This is what we call a little shake route. A corner route where you get inside, you're going to see him come back, and look at the ball placed perfectly there on the sideline.
Good hands by Capers to reel that one in. It's a gain of 16 up to the 44-yard line. All right, so 2 completions, positive chunk yards. It's second down and 4. Coy Moore is in motion for the Tigers. Play clock is down to 5. Ashford, little pressure, finds his tight end inside Georgia territory. Samuel Schenker. You want to talk about a seasoned vet. He was able to avoid Malachi Starks and make that reception.
Here comes, we can see the crossing routes. Those guys are what we call a mesh. Schenker comes out clean on the other side. This time, Ashford stays in the pocket. Beautifully done. First down, really important first down for the Tigers as they try to climb back in this game here in the first half.
Obviously, first downs have been hard to come by. It's first down. The ball spotted at the 47-yard line. Bigsby runs to his left. The pass game maybe opens up a little this run game here.
It does. And again, positive yardage. You've got to keep this thing manageable on third down. Third down being critical as they try to crawl back into this ball game.
They're hurrying up to the line of scrimmage. It's a gain of almost 5.
You've kept Georgia on the field a little bit. See if you can neutralize a pass rush by going a little tempo here.
Second down and 6 officially. Hunter is in the backfield. They're going to find him in the flat. And Hunter gets down to the 41-yard line. Pretty good help on defense by Javon Bullard.
And these are the kind of throws Eric Keesaw wants to give Robbie Ashford because they're scripted. It's basically you're throwing it to our running back, and Hunter will make something good happen, and now we're in a third and manageable. Possible 2-down territory. I know he's going to be a little gun-shy after the fake punt, but you got to stay aggressive if you're Brian Harsin.
Well, they keep Hunter in the game. He'll break the huddle out of the backfields. See Ashford's total yards today, 88.
Tight ends to the field, wide receivers to the boundary.
15 fumbles, 5 lost fumbles. He had 4 last week, lost 1. Second down and 8. They hand the ball off to McIntosh. McIntosh running right. Let's check in with Sherry Burns.
Guys, Robbie Ashford just looking dejected, like you said it, when he came down here on the sideline. He put his hands in his head, eyes closed, really just deeply breathing. And even before that, Coach Brian Harsin came over, really looked like he was explaining something with his hands. But he did ask him at the very end saying, "You okay?" He did nod, but you're seeing him now just Robbie Ashford looking really disappointed after that fumble.
Yeah, he's a young kid. Obviously he was at Oregon for 2 years, but didn't play at all. Play football at all.
You talk about quarterback skill sets. One of the best skills you can have is amnesia.
Oh, yeah.
Forget and go do it again.
Third down and 3 out of the backfield. It's McIntosh, and McIntosh knocked out of bounds by Derek Hall. I think he's short.
Interesting decision here for Kirby. Obviously, you're leading in the game 14-0. You can pin this team down close.
They got a punt here, don't they? Yeah.
I think they will, yes.
Thorson's coming out, the freshman. He has the fewest punts in the SEC, which is not a surprise. You know, they had one game where they didn't punt at all. And Scott's back deep to receive. On 4th down and 2. Play clock down to 2. Game clock winding down. And they get this one off. Scott calls for the fair catch. And he grabs it at the 14-yard line. Tomorrow, the NFL on CBS slate features the rookie Kenny Pickett leading the Steelers into Buffalo to take on Josh Allen and the Bills, or a key AFC matchup between the Dolphins and the Jets. The day gets underway at noon Eastern with JB and the guys on the NFL Today. Tomorrow, the NFL is on CBS. All right, so Stetson Bennett, we talk about quarterbacks in the National Football League. Quarterbacks that are younger than he is in the National Football League. Look at that list.
It's incredible how many guys have gone off to the league and done so many things at such a young age. This guy, I told you, he's in no hurry. He'll stay at Georgia if they'll let him as long as you do. You talk about rings on a tree. He's got a really important ring on his hand. National championship ring.
And he's a great story, too. Started at Georgia, was on number 4 on the depth chart, decided to go to junior college to get some playing time, and then earned his way back to Georgia again. Pretty good run there. Chris Smith with the tackle. All right, so here are the first 6 possessions for Auburn. They've been busy in the punt game.
Again, the penalties. If we go back and go through each of those drives, you're going to see a 5-yard or a 10-yard penalty taking them backwards that ends up stalling them out. This is a perfect example of a great first down call. Now, this gives Keesaw a chance for a chunk play. Is there something, because we can make the first down on 3rd and 1. It'll be interesting to see if they use any with only 2 minutes left in the half.
Second down and 1. Clock winding down, and that's going to be another penalty. So that's going to be 8 penalties now against them for 50 yards in this first half.
I put my hands on the top of my head because I can only feel the frustration of this coaching staff.
5-yard penalty. Second down.
Yeah, this is hard. This is really hard. Now you have to, you're in 2 different situations. You want to take this clock down, give Georgia no time to come back. That's the 4-minute drill. And if you get some momentum, then you transition to a 2-minute drive.
Second down at 6. Ashford steps up in the pocket. Not much there. And he just zips it to the near sideline. It's incomplete. And it'll be 3rd down
Here you can see the youth again. He's out getting to the sideline again, and this time he throws the ball 100 miles an hour instead of just understanding he's in a moving car as he sprints. Just lay that ball out there and make it catchable.
Clock stops now with 1:36 to play. It's 3rd down and 6. Bigsby's in the backfield. They need to get down. Yeah, they need to get to the 24 for a first down. Their average yard to gain on 3rd down is 9. He fumbles the snap, and Auburn's able to fall on top of it. Zierer was able to track it down and get it out of bounds.
You've got a 4th-string center. The 4th guy playing that position. You've got a freshman quarterback. And they're struggling right now. All
right, so they're starting at the 46-yard line. Georgia is, Coach, and they're averaging at their own 47. So they're right there.
They're literally 30 yards away from field goal range. They've got one timeout. They want to keep that in their pocket for a field goal, but there's no need to get one-dimensional here. They can use draw. They can use quarterback draw as they try to put themselves in position to score again.
But Lesney's long for his career is 53 yards. That was a few years ago. Bennett looking to throw, looking long, far side of the field, has Bowers, and he overthrew him. Brock Bowers had gotten free. Puckett was in on the coverage.
Stetson Bennett wants this one back. When you get a guy this wide open, you can see Bowers at the top of your screen. He's going to run what we call a slot fade. When you get the guy this wide open, you just got to put a little more air underneath the ball, Tom.
Oh, yeah, he broke free. A little crisscross. We asked Stetson Bennett if Bowers is better than he thought he was going to be. He said, well, yeah. He said, I watched a couple games last year and thought, he's got some pretty good moves. On 2nd down and 10. The throw to the middle of the field. He throws it up for Bowers, deflected, incomplete. He did tell us that that's the kind of throw that he trusts Bowers to go up and get.
That was definitely a confidence throw that this guy can make it. You can see him right here. He's running right down the middle of the field, and what he's going to try to do is throw it to his back shoulder. But this is beautifully covered by Auburn, and as good as Brock Bowers is, he can't come down with that one.
Yep.
What was interesting is that Todd Monken said he's a better running back than he is a receiver.
Yeah.
That's the typical unicorn. Or the atypical unicorn, I guess.
4 different guys touched that football. Kaufman was the last one. It's 3rd down. Bennett looking to throw again. Comes to the near side of the field. His pass is caught. Blaylock. Nope, they say incomplete. He had it, and then when he went out of bounds, it jarred loose. It'll be 4th down.
We'll see if he actually is out of bounds. I think the officials are right on this one. But interesting on a clock drive that you go down the field 3 straight downs. That right foot might have touched in.
I don't know if he had control.
Oh, he didn't have control.
No.
3 straight chunk throws. Usually clock drives are best started with a rhythm throw, something underneath just to get the thing going. It subdues the pass rush and allows you some rhythm to get into position to score.
Let's see the yardage for both teams. Georgia's definitely dominating on the ground. This is a high kick by Thorson. And the fair catch is called. Well, I think everybody's enjoying this, including Uga 10. He's come out of the house just a tad.
Just to take a bow?
Well, for halftime. Get a chance to enjoy a little bit of the sunshine.
It was Uga 4 that got me back in 1983.
The dog of the decade?
The dog of the decade, yes.
Here's some info on Uga. First introduced in 1956. Travels with the team and stays in the team hotel. Why wouldn't he? Receives a varsity letter every year. And nicknamed Q. This one is Uga 10. What do you think Auburn's going to do here? They're going to play conservative with 50 seconds left. I mean, they don't have a lot of room between itself and the goal line.
Georgia just has the one timeout. I think they've got to be careful, but obviously here they are going with it.
Yeah,
whether this was a scripted run, I don't think so, because everybody was running routes. But Ashford, again, north and south, this time he took care of the ball.
And he wants to get the offensive line up to the line of scrimmage.
They've got all their timeouts. There's time. It'd be interesting. Now, the clock didn't start. That if they were going to use them, they should have used one right there.
30 seconds left to play in the first half. Ashford throws to his left, incomplete. His intended receiver was Jackson, the senior.
But here's the downside. Now you're in 3rd down and 3. And if you get stopped, Georgia's got a timeout. can get the ball back and put themselves in position to score. You've got to be real careful as you try to figure out what's possible, especially with a young quarterback.
Yeah, you have to understand your limitations. They've got Bigsby in the backfield. 4-man defensive front for Georgia. They get it to Bigsby, and Bigsby has the first down as he's thrown out of bounds. That was Ryan Davis who made the tackle. Kirby Smart was in the area too. Can't credit him though.
Great job. You can see the receiver coming from outside in. He ends up being in somewhat of a pick to allow Bigsby to get to the sideline where the ball can be thrown to him and he can get to the sideline. Now you're going to use your timeout. You're an all-in trying to score, get to field goal range for Anders Carlson.
20 seconds to play. Ashford going long on the far side of the field, and it's incomplete. He's lucky because Chris Smith was coming over and was probably the closest one for Georgia to that neighborhood.
Again, I quarrel with this because you need rhythm. You'll neutralize this pass rush, and you do have timeouts. I know we're in the waning seconds here with 14, but something underneath, and then use your timeout, and you can get one more chunk play to get yourself in field position for Anders Carlson long one.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like they're thinking about using those timeouts at all.
Doesn't seem like they're important.
Play clock is down to 10. Ashford 8 of 21 in this first half. Quick toss to the near sideline, and he just zipped it over the head of his intended receiver. That was Jay Fair.
A little high and outside. You're used to that baseball stuff, Tom.
It's coming back to me.
Congratulations to your Phillies.
Yeah, big one tonight in St. Louis.
1-0 lead, big ninth inning.
All right, so 10 seconds left. Reminder, Georgia will get the football to begin the second half. And up top, 14-0 here using their run game. Ashford's going to look for a timeout. The play clock was down to 4, and I don't think he had what he wanted on the field. Steps up, and he's going to run into the open field, and he slides close toward the 45-yard line. With 2 seconds left, he asks for a timeout.
Now you can heave one to the end zone. This is a Hail Mary opportunity right here. He certainly has the arm strength that we've seen.
Yes.
Whether it was necessary or not, he can throw it 100 miles an hour to get it to the end zone.
Yeah, and he's got athletic tight ends. He's got Shanker. He's got Deal. Tyler Fromm's been in the game as well. I'm talking about big guys that he can go to if he has to. And don't forget, Jackson is 6'2". Just thinking about throwing it up and seeing if he can throw it up for grabs.
More likely, you're going to see wide receivers here to get down there because they're not going to be able to hold the ball very long against a very athletic Georgia pass rush.
All right, so timeouts each with 1.
The idea on a Hail Mary is to buy enough time to get your receivers down there, make sure it lands in the end zone, not throw it out of the end zone or land too short. Couple of hitches. I was part of a big-time Hail Mary. I don't know if you remember that Cordell Stewart throw at Michigan. And give yourself a chance.
All right, so how about Georgia has Darnell Washington, one of their tight ends, back as sort of a center fielder.
Absolutely. And now they're going to call timeout and talk this through.
Third and final timeout of the half.
The key for the defense on this particular play is to not try to catch the ball, but try to volleyball spike the ball. Get the ball to the ground.
Yeah, because if it's tipped, then it's up for grabs for anybody.
Exactly, and that's the goal for the offense. Get the ball tipped up in the air so that you can make that heroic play that'll be on all the television sets for decades to come.
And just the way it was lined up before that timeout, Shanker and Jackson were spread out to the far side. Shanker the tight end, Jackson the wide receiver. Now they may switch that up. Yeah, they're going to switch it up a little bit. So Shanker's going to come down to the bottom of your screen, number 25. And Coy Moore is going to join him.
There's some confusion in this lineup here.
Yeah, now they have trips.
Now they're trying to get them lined up to the field, which is the right thing to do. Plenty of time on the clock, so it's not an urgent matter. Just cleanup.
And Ashford setting up in the pocket. It's tipped at the line of scrimmage. Incomplete, and that will be it. Bear Alexander got his hand on it. That's appropriate. He got his paw up there and knocked it away.
Well, guys, Coach Marr telling me he likes the way his guys have been executing, but they need to do better on third down. Also need to value their possessions more on offense. As for what I learned from Coach Bryan Harsin, he said their biggest issue are penalties, and it's the self-inflicted one. It's really killing the momentum. But then he said their biggest challenge is the second half. It's been their problem all season. I asked him, how do you address that today? And guys, he told me they've been addressing it all week. It's now time to execute here in game.
Yeah, 8 penalties for 50 yards in that first half. All right, so McIntosh in the backfield next to Stetson Bennett. The Bulldogs 59 yards on the ground in the first quarter, 59 in the second quarter. They give it right to McIntosh, and not much is there. We take a look at the first half game trends. I mean, Robbie Ashford, 8 of 23. Did some good things, but also showed that he was a rookie.
As you look at those numbers, you're sitting there saying he's struggling, but he's 7 of 9 when targeting his tight end Shanker or the running back.
Wow.
Look to see if he'll throw more to them. Stetson Bennett, you can see 7 for 13. Their longest pass play, 7 yards. I think too many chunk opportunities. They got to get an intermediate passing game going to go along with what's been a very effective running game.
We have the 2 tight ends that are spread out wide. They give it off to Robinson, the freshman. And he gets up close to the 28-yard line. Remember, Kendall Milton is out for Georgia, so that's why Robinson and Edwards will get a lot of reps behind McIntosh.
We have watched, we talked about in the early going about third down efficiency for this Auburn defense. They were fantastic in the first half. Georgia only 1 of 6. Big down right here.
Yeah, third down and 7. Bennett drops back to pass. Sets up in the pocket. It's collapsing. And he's wrapped up and taken down. He lost the football. Auburn recovers. Out of the pile comes Colby Wooden. He was in the backfield from the get-go.
You talk about a big play. An opportunity to get your own short field. What has been a nightmare offensively to get a short field here. This is just a fantastic job by Jeff Smedding's defense, corralling the quarterback, keeping him in the pocket. Watch this strip right here, coming from behind, punching the ball out. Colby Wooden getting the ball. Huge change of momentum here in front of the Georgia crowd.
So first sack of the day. Give Bragg the credit for the sack. Give Wooden this credit for the strip and the recovery. And this is a big-time shift for Auburn. See the shadows creeping on a diagonal across the field.
Ashford also had 50 yards rushing. So his legs and keep the ball in that little mini field are back and tight end.
First red zone play of the day. They give it off to Bigsby, and Bigsby powers his way inside the 15 to the 14. Ryan Davis makes the tackle.
Beautiful cutback here by Bigsby. Why keep calling him one of the best backs? And see how he gets behind his pads, delivering the blow rather than receiving it. Great first down call. Now the playbook's open. But with Ashford, the offense isn't the offense. It's plays right now. What can he handle? What does he have confidence in?
Bigsby, by the way, if you remember the 2020 SEC Freshman of the Year, that's Coy Moore in motion on second down. Ashford to Bigsby again. Not much there. Slowed in the backfield by Logue.
This is where now Bryan Harsin and Eric Kiesau have to be on the same page. Are we in 4 down or are we in 3 down? We're 2 scores behind early in the fourth quarter. Points are important. They haven't scored in the last 2 games in the second half. But 3 points isn't probably going to get it done.
1 for their last 7 on third downs. Facing a third down and 5. It's getting louder here at Sanford Stadium. Ashford, pressure's coming. Trying to get away. Trying to run away. And he runs out of bounds to the 13-yard line, and he gets stopped by the hedges. He's shy of the first down. Javon Dumas-Johnson was chasing him.
We have seen this movie before. Flushed from the pocket, having to escape to his outside. Athletic enough to get there, but doesn't keep his eyes down the field. Here comes the field goal team.
Just couldn't get to that first down marker. So Anders Carlson will be on for the field goal attempt. It'll be a 29-yarder. Oscar Chapman is the holder. He's 5 of 7 on field goals. Good snap.
So if they can keep this field position advantage, they're going to give their offense a chance, and that's all you can ask of this defense. They've been outstanding given the way this offense has performed thus far this particular day.
And Georgia slides in Branson Robinson, the freshman from Canton, Mississippi. It'll be first down for the 19-yard line. Bennett off the play fake. They like to have him roll, and they get it to Darnell Washington, and the big tight end rumbles out of bounds at the 37-yard line. He is a tough matchup.
These kind of moving the pocket throws are how you get your offense rhythm, especially when you're blessed with these fantastic tight ends. Washington, this time the recipient.
He's worked on his run blocking. He's gotten better at that. Kirby Smart said he's taking ownership of who he is. Heck, he probably sees how Bowers has evolved. Bowers in motion. Quick toss to McConkey. Has Bowers blocking. McConkey can't slip both tackles. Thrown out of bounds.
In talking to Todd Monken, he said, listen, we're going to give the whole offense to Stetson Bennett. This is what we call an RPO. You had a counter running play inside gap scheme, and instead he decided to throw to a wide receiver screen to his pal Ladd McConkey. If you're going to get 3-4 yards with that play, you can do it. But when you're getting one with it, now there's a question. You can see Todd Monken going, I shouldn't have given him the green light.
He definitely shows his emotion. There's no doubt about that in a good way. Bowers in motion. They get it to Edwards. Edwards has some blockers trying to get to the edge. Not much there. He is dragged down. This Auburn defense, that was Keontae Scott who made the tackle. Really stepping it up on these first two drives.
A huge third down here for the Georgia offense. The first third down of the half, they get the sack and the fumble, give the short field to Auburn, and now Auburn feels like they're back in the game. An opportunity here to get off the field again for this Auburn defense. See what Todd Monken dials up here.
Yeah, so Georgia brings in McIntosh on 3rd and 6. Now he is a solid receiver too. Bennett takes the low snap. And he throws to the near side. There's a flag. McConkey has it, and he's out of bounds at the 40-yard line. And let's wait and see who the penalty is against.
Offsides on defense.
Offside. Defense, number 29, in the neutral zone at the snap. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down.
Huge play here. You can see he's going to look down to his left. This is what we call levels. You're going to take somebody off the top and then run somebody to the corner. And he's looking out there, and he just lays it to the grass where McConkey will run there beautifully under it. First down, Dawgs.
Gain of 21 yards. Goes to the 40-yard line off the play fake. Bennett to throw. Throws to the near sideline, McIntosh. McIntosh makes a man miss. And he's got a first down. He just streaked along the sidelines as a flag comes in.
As you watch this play, and it's a beautiful play to McIntosh, but Darnell Washington was going to have a touchdown. He got interrupted a little bit as we checked the fallen Tiger.
Yeah, it's Steiner, who had such a good week last week. Wesley Steiner, 11 tackles last week as he took over for
Personal
Cam
foul.
Riley.
Illegal blindside block. Offense, number 0. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Remains first down.
All right, so that's Darnell Washington, who's the one who had the blindside block on Steiner, and that's why Steiner is down with the injury as we talk right now.
Washington was open on the route. He must have peeled back and made this hit.
Well, here at Georgia.
This is fascinating. You're going to see McConkey, and he just flips it to him, and that, as you just said, Tom, is a pass. You can see people out there. It's just a glorified sweep, but touches are the key as they go tempo here.
At Bennett throws to the middle of the field, incomplete. He led his receiver a little bit too much. You expect this with a Power 5 team like Georgia, but they really spread it around to their receivers.
They absolutely do, and in talking to Todd Monken, they, trying to keep everybody happy.
Right.
In a world where everybody can transfer and everybody's got an inner circle of people telling them, hey, you're not getting the ball. Remember, Jermaine Burton left for Alabama in the hopes he was going to get the ball more. They're trying to spread it out and get everybody involved.
Second down and 10. Ferris Jackson stretches out to the slot. So does Rosemy Jackson. Bennett to throw again. Nope, he's going to run it. This is what he does well also. And he falls forward inside the 20. They'll mark him right at the 20-yard line.
This is that experience that we're talking about. A guy playing in his 5th year. He's looking down the field. He's going to fall his back. But now, most importantly, he's going to protect himself. Get down. Don't take the hit.
Gives it off to McIntosh. He's slowed in the backfield, but keeps his feet moving. And he's going to get down inside the 15-yard line to the 13, maybe more. It is down to the 10.
Nothing fires up this Georgia crowd more than mall ball. This is absolutely beautiful. These Georgia backs, they got great vision. You're going to see him moving the hole. Now he's downfield. And watch this offensive line participate in just what is just a tug-of-war. We are not going down. Let us keep moving this pile, and the crowd responds.
It's so funny. Ratledge was the one who kind of plowed him forward, and then he released him for the extra 2 yards.
Empty formation.
2 receivers left, 2 right. And Bennett hands it off, little sweep to Edwards. Edwards going to his left inside the 5, and he's knocked out of bounds close to the 1-yard line.
You know what you love to see is wide receivers blocking down the field. We just said they had to get balls so that their inner circle wouldn't ask them to transfer. But when they're willing to do it, Rosamede St. Jack is doing out there and make plays down the field to help the running game. Everybody feels good.
I think we got away with a hold here. Rosamede St. Jack.
Potentially. Did his hands get out of the frame? But see how he kept him in? He's just pushing. You didn't see the jersey pull away, which is the telltale sign for the official.
Edwards to the end zone, and he's in, walking in.
What a great answer drive by the Dawgs. Turnover on that opening drive. Say, hey, let's get together with the defending national champs! Exclamation point.
Well, they said they wanted to get better in the red zone. 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns.
And all moving the ball with the ground game. Mall ball.
20-3. Edwards now 9 carries, 59 yards. Scored the game winner last week against Missouri. The point after is good. 21-3 with 7:07 to play here in the 3rd quarter. Yeah, the offensive line. So 21-3 with 7:07 to play here in the 3rd quarter. That's a big man moving awfully slow on the sidelines, isn't it?
Yeah. Hate to see it.
So they got the field goal. But they also had an opportunity to get some more and had to settle for the field goal off the turnover. It's first down off the play fake. He's in trouble, dumps it off. He's got Hunter. Hunter along the sidelines is able to stay in bounds, it looks like, to get the first down, but we'll see where they mark him.
This is exactly how you handle a young quarterback, right? You give him scripted throws. We're going to throw it to this guy. You got to give us a little action so that we can throw back a little screen to our fantastic little tailback there and get the drive started.
8 of 9 yards. Hunter, the sophomore from Philadelphia, Mississippi. Powerful runner also. On second down, they hand it off to Bigsby, and Bigsby's got the first. And Bigsby lowers his shoulder before he's knocked out of bounds by Ringo, the redshirt sophomore for Georgia. Keely Ringo has been given a lot of responsibility to help take over a defense that was decimated with the NFL drafts.
Right, the entire defense. They're all playing in the NFL, but Ringo does a nice job of keeping the edge of the defense right here. Some unbalanced formations here by Auburn.
Whistle blows, flags come in. Another false start.
False start. Offense, number 17. 5-yard penalty. First down.
This is on the quarterback. The quarterback has to let everybody get set. And he's trying to think and process all the things that he has to do, and he's not factoring in that everybody else needs to get lined up.
Yeah, you saw the movement.
An unbalanced formation requires him be on the line of scrimmage. You're going to have too many guys in the backfield, but that should be something that the quarterback position says, get on the line of scrimmage and away we go.
Yeah, and just
that goes back to the youth.
6th false start penalty of the day. It's 1st and 15. The pitch goes to Hunter. Hunter gets to the 35, and that's it. And let's remind everybody that Robbie Ashford is an excellent athlete. Right. He's got great speed. Played baseball at Oregon before he transferred to Auburn. but he's the third quarterback this year. TJ Finley's out with a shoulder injury.
He got 13 reps in spring ball. He got third-team reps in most of training camp. And then all of a sudden, TJ Finley goes down, and you've got Zach Calzada out for the year with the shoulder injury. Just had surgery, and so now he's getting all the reps. And we're trying to piecemeal an offense together with him.
Let's hold in Gariner. There's the backup. Second down. Ashford pressures coming. He breaks away. Throws it up for grabs, incomplete. Warren Brinson was the one trying to track him down. They got some big dudes in the middle. There you go. This is what we're talking about.
Holden Griner, Trey Lindsey, very, very little experience. I think Griner's had 3 passes, 2 for 3 on the year. So Robbie Ashford's what we got.
Yep.
Let's make it work. You can't keep going backwards with these penalties. Now they put themselves in 3rd and long. Watch Georgia pin their ears back.
3rd down and 13. This is what Georgia says they love. Pinning their ears back. The pass is complete.
What a throw by Ashford. Yeah. He is literally backing up. You talk about raw ability. Backing up and throwing this ball 25 yards down the field on a line for a first down.
Yeah, Johnson did a good job just contorting his body to get some separation here.
When he's good, he's very good.
It's a gain of 20 yards. It's a first down inside Georgia territory. Bigsby is back in the backfield. Coy Moore, the sophomore, in motion. They're tight to the line of scrimmage. Off the play fake. Ashford lofts it, far side of the field. He overthrows Coy Moore. That ball almost looked like it slipped out of his hand.
He had his man. He a little bit overthrowing him, but he also, this receiver was looking right into the sun. That's the one patch of the field that's still looking back into the sunshine. You can see him. He's right here. And he can't see the ball. This is almost the exact same route that Darnell Washington ran from the other side, where he had the heel back that ended up being the personal foul against him.
7th play of the drive. They give it to Bigsby over the block of his left tackle. There's not much there. He got maybe 2. It'll be 3rd down and long. Ringo,
Eric Keesaw.
Johnson.
Eric Keesaw trying to pull out all his formations, see if it gives Georgia any trouble. That was another of those unbalanced formations this time. They lined up correctly. 5 for 13 on 3rd down. They came into the game, I think, 3rd worst in the country in terms of the length of 3rd downs that they were having to attempt.
Yep.
They aren't helping that number today.
Third down and 8, pistol formation. And they'll just hand it off. And Bigsby's nothing there. Nolan Smith, the senior, was in the backfield before the ball was even handed off.
This is why this guy's an All-American defender, Nolan Smith. The leader of last year's defense and the leader of this year's defense. The vocal leader. And just an athlete. This was a 3-man rush, and he came up and made the play himself. So it's a loss of 4. It'll be 4th and 12. McConkey's back deep to receive for Georgia. Oscar Chapman's been one of the busiest men on the field today. He's on the punt again. McConkey will let it go over his head. And it's going to go into the end zone. Takes a Georgia bounce. And things are bounced. Listen, you have to give a big amount of credit to this Auburn defense for their effort all day. They have been out there doing yeoman work. They need a stop here to give the Tigers a chance to get back into this thing.
You see how good they've been against the pass today. McIntosh comes in motion out of the backfield. Whistles blow and a false start. This time on Georgia.
False start. Offense, number 84. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
All right, so 9 penalties for Auburn, 3 for Georgia. Fairly clean game for the Bulldogs.
Exactly. And remember, this last drive that they just had started off with a little misdirection pass, got a little rhythm to the drive, ended up in a touchdown. See if they can get rhythm again going here.
2nd down. Empty backfield for Bennett. He has time. He's going long. He has McConkey, and a diving attempt. He couldn't reel it in. He was wide open. He got north of Puckett, and he just couldn't get to it in time.
That's a hard one to put on Stetson Bennett. That ball was up in the air, gave Ladd plenty of time to gauge where it would be. I think McConkey wants this one again. When you're making that catch, Tom, you have to see your hands and the ball. If the ball gets past your eyeballs and then it hits your hands, it's hard to make the catch. Ladd wants another shot at it, I promise you.
Yeah, McConkey's a former quarterback at high school. We asked Stetson Bennett, could you have switched to wide receiver if they asked you to do it? He said, maybe, but I'd rather be a safety. He gets that one off, and they get a few yards back, but it's going to be 4th down.
Conservative play right there. Not going to take a sack. Not going to risk the ball getting stripped away from the quarterback as the half started. They're going to just punt, play defense, but a great job by Auburn's defense right there to give Auburn's offense a chance to get them back in it as we head close to the 4th quarter.
Saw the reaction by Stetson Bennett, too, when he came over. He looked like he was upset about that, too, because he knows he had one.
Oh, yeah.
He either had points or he had a first down in the red zone.
This has been a feast or famine day in the throwing game for Georgia, and it hasn't ended up in too many feasts.
Scott back deep to receive for Auburn. Brett Thorson gets this one off. That's a good punt. And Scott calls for the fair catch. Invesco brings you today's Scholar Athletes. So it's Tyler Fromm from Auburn. Yeah, flight management. And then Cedric Van Pran from Georgia, the center. He's an art major. Invesco is proud to support student athletes on and off the field with a donation of $1,000 to both Auburn and Georgia's general scholarship funds.
As an old coach, you love those guys. You don't have to worry about if they go to class. You guys go make sure you're doing what you need to do. And congratulations, those guys.
Yeah, really. All right, so 1st and 10 from the 8-yard line of Auburn. 30 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Ashford doing a little dancing. Better be careful. He's going to the far side of the field, and it is intercepted. Starks went up in the air. The freshman came down with the football.
Fabulous play by Malachi Starks. Talked to Chris Smith yesterday about, hey, how you helping that freshman in the back end? He says he doesn't need much help. Everything comes pretty natural to him. This is just a great athletic play on the ball. You can see him chasing. Now he turns around, gets his hands up. Ooh, we might have to look at that. That thing kind of twisted a little on the ground.
It did.
Let's take another look. Certainly looks like he's got it. But see, can't tell from that angle.
It was moving as he was coming down. They are going to take a look at it.
You know what that means?
What's that?
Gene.
That's right.
Gene, the review machine.
All right, Gene, what do you got on that one, buddy?
I've got an incomplete pass, guys. He's got to survive the ground there because he doesn't have enough. He's not on his feet in time to make a football move. So as he's falling, it's loose, the bounce, and then he really has never possessed it. And I think when it hits the ground there, it makes it incomplete.
You know, looking at that last highlight, that last replay, Gene, I think you're right on with that. Right here, it's still loose in his hand, and it comes out. Yeah.
Robbie Ashford going to get another shot.
Yeah, he is.
Interesting. You know, listen, you're down 21-3. You're backed up. Why not take a vertical? But again, we go back to this inexperience of your quarterback. And you have to throw these balls on time. Otherwise, the DBs.
The defender did not have control of the pass before it hit the ground. It's an incomplete pass. He's 2nd down.
The DBs are as likely to catch it as your guys.
Right.
It's basically 3 flies up. Malachi Starks is an outstanding young freshman DB, though. He's already got 2 picks on the season. Almost had number 3 right there. We saw a number of these guys head to the pro level after last year. He'll be headed that direction sooner than later.
I have to say, though, film room-wise, like the way he attacked the ball defensively.
Exactly right.
2nd and 10. So Auburn will get it back. Ashford, another chance. Georgia showing blitz. Now they pull back. Uh-oh, he's in trouble. He's just going to throw it up for grabs again, out of bounds.
If we watch Ashford here, and they're trying to say that he wasn't trying to hit anybody, and that would be his intentional grounding in the end zone would have been a safety. You see his eyes come down there? That's what you can't do as a quarterback. You cannot look down and see the rush, because now you have no idea what's going on down the field. You lose complete sight of everything, and when you find somebody, you have no idea what sort of defensive pressure or danger lurks.
And by the way, that ball went out of bounds.
Yes.
And it went into the garbage can on the sidelines. He would have won a stuffed animal. Instead, he's got a third down.
All right.
Third down and 10. Pressure's coming. He throws it away. Incomplete. I don't know if it got back. That was in the vicinity, though, of the receiver.
He had Tank Bigsby there. Again, his instincts are showing here. He's that young. He's wanting to bail for a sideline. His eyes are coming down. Young guy growing up right before our eyes, guys.
Yeah, Bear Alexander was in on the pressure. There was Smith coming as well. So now, with 10 seconds left, McConkey's going to get excellent field position for Georgia. That's a weird punt. He punts it away from him and takes an Auburn bounce and then a roll.
Rugby style.
Yeah, it turned out to be a thing of beauty. Oscar Chapman from Australia. Tough win against Missouri. He said, I know that they realize what's going on. They all have social media, but I don't bring it up, because if I bring it up, then it becomes important. This team has 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line. Bennett, keep it himself, runs it right up the middle. Bennett inside Auburn territory. Bennett inside 25. He may be able to go inside the 5. Touchdown, Georgia.
Oh, my. Rags to riches indeed.
53rd career touchdown, the 7th most in program history. 64 yards for Stetson Bennett.
The walk-on wasn't walking there. He was running.
Big time.
Holy smokes.
It's the longest career run for Stetson Bennett. Now he's got to catch his breath as he holds for the kicker.
I've been there. Usually running away, going the other way before the hold, but he'll be fine. He can't wait to get to that sideline.
Well, the point after to give Georgia a 25-point lead. He does. 28-3.
That Bennett the fourth is an IV right now he needs.
He's looking around wondering, man, I've got all this room to roam. 64 yards, and the Bulldogs are in control.
This is going to get one-sided if we don't find a way to make a big drive this time by Auburn.
Georgia will kick it off. Hunter's back deep to receive. We'll let this one go over his head and into the end zone. Let's take a look at the GMC Game Changer. And it's essentially been the running of the Georgia Bulldogs here this afternoon.
Yeah, they've imposed their will. Over 200 yards now rushing with that big run by Stetson Bennett the fourth. But just a real good job up front, especially after a week where they were wondering if they were a little out of balance, throwing the ball too much. They have gone back to their old ways and proven they can do it just as effectively.
He's still catching his breath on the sidelines, getting some oxygen. Ashford will lead this team back onto the field, down 28-3. You see the rushing yards today for Georgia, 209. That'll bring their rankings to a better spot. Little screen to Shanker, and Shanker is snuffed out almost immediately by Jamon Dumas-Johnson.
It's the same screen we saw earlier in the game when they threw it back to Jarquez Hunter. This time they use Shanker as the receiver. All the same stuff for the offensive line. It's my old coach Homer Smith used to say, Huey, Dewey, and Louie out in front. A kick out, a lead, and a seal.
Did you see the last 10
attempts? I miss old Homer. He used to do it with the Donald Duck voice and talk about it.
Imagine if he had the headset on while doing it. Ashford throwing it long. He overthrows Coy Moore. Incomplete.
These are growing pains. You've got a young quarterback being forced into a situation where he's being asked to play the #2 team in the country. He's trying to do it. Everything the coaches are saying is all coming really fast for him. And the ball can get away.
Third downs, they're 5 of 15, but I think the number to look at is average yards to go, 8.5. They're facing a 3rd and 10 here. Luke Deal in motion. He throws on the run. He zips it out of bounds off the hands of Moore, who was on the sidelines. It's incomplete. It'll be 4th down. Bullard in on the coverage. Boy, that was fast. That's less than a minute, and he's turning the ball over.
When we talked about the anatomy of an upset, we talked about shortening the game. And when you get behind, obviously it's difficult to do that. You can't undervalue what Georgia has done under Kirby Smart since his arrival in 2015. I mean, it is remarkable the depth of this program, the quality of the football player in this program. It's really fun to watch, and they deserve all the credit they get.
Throughout the course of this week, he showed the team clips of previous Auburn-Georgia matchups, so they understood how important this rivalry was. Bennett on 1st down, throws to the middle, pass is complete. Blaylock has it, and Blaylock is inside Auburn territory.
This is absolutely, now we just saw poor Robbie Ashford looking at the rush. You can see a guy who's experienced, and Stetson Bennett, he can sit in there, he can climb, he keeps his eyes down the field and finds Dominic Blaylock. Great to see him back playing as well.
Big time. Gain of 24 yards, so 1st down. 13:30 to play here in the 4th quarter. Well, the time of the play clock. They give it to Edwards, and Edwards, well, they're just getting chunk yards now, Coach. I mean, they're just getting big-time yards with each play they have.
We talked about 2 games going on in every football game, the one in the trenches and the one on the scoreboard. The one on the trenches is starting to wear on the guys with the white jerseys. They've been out there a long time. They haven't gotten a lot of support from the other side of the ball, and you can just feel this is starting to push in their direction. Just like you feel the rope in a tug-of-war start pulling.
Yep.
That's what's happening here.
Washington in motion, the tight end. The pitch goes to Edwards, and Edwards trying to find a block. Not much is there. He still was able to get a couple yards. 12:48 to play. Marquise Burks knocks him out of bounds.
Keep the edge. I love this competitive nature of this Auburn defense. Came into this game giving up less than 30% in the last 2 weeks in 3rd down. Fighting every tooth and nail, and talking to those guys over the weekend when we get a chance to have conversations. They got a lot of pride. A lot of pride.
Oscar Delp is in at tight end. They hand it off to Robinson, and Robinson is met in the backfield. And nothing doing. Take it down.
No give up in these Tigers now. No give up in these Tigers.
That was Cam Riley who came in to make the tackle. But there was pressure put in by Jason Jones. This has been a tough run for Brian Harsin, the head coach of Auburn. He said, you know, a couple of the keys, he said, I have to make sure I take care of the players. I got to take care of my family. That's the biggest thing. He said, we try to control the controllables with all the pressure that's been on him and his coaching staff.
And he still feels like they're building something.
Yeah, he does. 3rd down and 9. Bennett steps up, throws, and it's complete. Bowers. And Bowers dives forward. J.D. Rhyme was in on the coverage.
You know, when your hybrid tight end is able to beat a DB one-on-one, saying something.
Yeah, gain of 12. They loft it toward the end zone for McConkey, and there's a flag in. I think the flag is that Derek Hall may not have gotten onside for Auburn.
I think you're right.
Outside defense, number 29, 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
Another opportunity for Stetson Bennett to see that and get a ball into the end zone because it's free.
Yeah, and Hall is being helped off the field. This defense has now been on the field an awful lot in the way this game is going.
Yeah. But stand in there and fight, right? Yep. That's all sorts of lessons in the game of football. One of them is when you're staring a little adversity, you keep fighting.
They move an offensive lineman in motion. Bennett hands the ball off to Edwards. Edwards to his right. Edwards toward the goal line. And Edwards is in. Touchdown, Georgia. It's 34-3.
When we talk about tight ends at Georgia, we're talking about unicorns. Well, now they put in a guy, end up playing tight end, that is enormous.
Yeah, look at Edwards, his third touchdown. Yeah, things got a little easy as they move the linemen around. And it's now 34-3. About to make it 35-3. Had Leslie on for the point after. Right through the middle.
Georgia-Auburn series as the prayer at Jordan-Hare in 2013. Ricardo Lewis famously caught that ball, and he inspired his cousin, who is Marcus Bragg. He's the reason he chose to play football. So when Bragg transferred, he immediately had a chance to jump on Auburn, and he said because of Ricardo, when he joined Auburn, it already felt like home.
This is pretty cool. Look at the two of them together. Yeah, the tie that binds. On first down, they give it to Hunter. Not much is there, and Hunter is stopped. That's Bullard.
Unfortunately for Auburn, this game has kind of been decided, so don't be surprised if Brian Harsin, Eric Keesaw and company decide to go back to let's get better for next week.
Right.
Let's go back to our offense. Let's not put our young quarterback in harm's way by throwing every down. Let's get back in balance and see if we can't get better in an effort to prepare for the rest of the season.
So that means he may even throw a little bit and short passes, things like that?
It'll be a balanced attack just like the game had started.
Second down and 11. And Ashford's pass, it's complete. Well, see, that had a beautiful touch on it. Coy Moore with the reception. Moves the ball to the 37. Ringo in on the coverage, a gain of 14.
Auburn fans are watching. Where's that been? Right?
Yeah.
Where's that been?
Well, it's only the...
I promise you, it's coming, Auburn. Don't give up. It's coming.
It's only the third first down this half for Auburn, and that one was nearly intercepted. I don't know if they were going to Schenker on that one or if they were going to Coy Moore. All right, so Rick's playoff teams. What do you think here, Rick? Is this is who you like so far?
Well, those first three are easy to call. Everybody will call those first three. They're the elite teams in the country. I've loved what J.J. McCarthy's meant to Michigan. I know they struggled against Indiana today, but they got the win. This is who I think are the best four teams. There's some kind of sneaking around the chicken coop, as they like to say. I'm in the South. I could have used these kind of terms.
After the incompletion, it's second down and 10. Schenker's in motion. Pass is complete to Hunter out of the backfield, and Hunter has a first down. Breaks a tackle and 2 into the open field, inside the 20, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Auburn!
What I love about college football is there is no quit. 18 to 22-year-old kids are going to go fight, scratch, and claw, and this is what. And we've talked about this, right? Ashford is better when throwing to his tight ends and his back. He's comfortable. When you look at the targets and the amount of completions, everywhere else it's been abysmal. But here's Jarquez Hunter making a huge play.
62 yards for the touchdown. And it's 35-9. They're going to try an onside kick. Let's see. 35-10. Nope, Carlson will kick it off. That ball
Look at him go.
Oh, it bounced at the 1 and out of bounds. He was the first one down there.
First right down.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team. By rule, the ball will be placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
All right, let's watch him here. Here's number 27.
I hope he has a long career both at Auburn and in the NFL. But if you're hiring somebody, that's a resume right there. When you just went 65 yards for a touchdown, you go out on the kickoff cover and you're the first guy down.
Yeah, you're doing
That's all you need to say.
Yeah, you're doing it down 25.
As coaches like to say, I can win with you, young man.
Stetson Bennett back in. In motion is Delp. They hand it off to Robinson. Robinson running left, cuts back right, and gets up above the 40. Let's check in with Sherry.
Well, Rick, you kind of mentioned it there, talking about Jarquez Hunter. Coach called him an unsung hero. He scored that lone touchdown, right? Then we saw him get back on the field for special teams. Coach Hurston calling him a special player. He's always going full speed. Never really says a word, but as we see here, guys, everyone watching, he is just a guy doing it all.
He definitely is. It'll be second down for the Bulldogs. Clock will wind, under 9 minutes to play as this play evolves. Bennett off the play fake, throws to the near sideline. Pass is complete. Nope, incomplete. The catch was made by Meeks, but he was out of bounds. 9:10 to play.
J.D. Ryan makes a great play, getting him out of bounds before his feet come down. We'll see.
Yep.
Looks like that right foot's close to the being in bounds, but that's a great play by the defender. That's an attaboy for J.D.
So now 3rd and 3. See Stetson Bennett, last 10 attempts, 7 of 10. On 3rd down, Delp was with the reception for a first down.
Oscar Delp getting a little time here with the score being what it is. And you look out there, if you put a 19 on him, he'd look the same, wouldn't he?
Absolutely. Number 1 recruit, they say.
Oh, my goodness. How about the rich getting richer?
They didn't have to go too far for him. They got him here in the state of Georgia. They didn't have to go to Las Vegas or to Napa. First down for the 48. He's in motion. Quick toss near side. It's complete to Meeks. Peppo with the tackle. All right, so we look at number 1 Alabama. They'll play Texas A&M later on tonight on CBS against number 2 Georgia. There's not a whole lot that separates them in the eyes of the voters in some ways.
No, these are both elite teams. They both have elite depth. Terrific defenses. Both head coaches are defensive minded, so they're always going to have great depth on that side of the ball. And both have special quarterbacks, different kind of quarterbacks, but special nonetheless in terms of their leadership. Well, it'll be interesting to see how long Bryce Young's out.
Robinson again up the middle, and Robinson has the first down to the 40-yard line. One thing that Kirby Smart did tell us, and I think he said this to everybody this year, he goes, listen, we are not the same team that won the national championship right here. He said, we are a young team.
Losing 15 guys to the NFL is going to hurt everybody.
Yep.
I mean, we talked about the depth at linebacker coming into this game, right? These guys were, the guys who were starting were 5, 6, and 7. Now he's down to 8, 9, 10 who have to play in big roles. So, but they grow them fast here in Athens.
Edwards in the backfield. Bennett rolls the pocket, dumps it off to Edwards. Edwards breaks 1 tackle. And gets a yard or so. Don't forget, later in the game, it's the play of the game, presented by Jersey Mike's Subs.
It's near and dear to your heart, isn't it?
It is. The original Jersey Mike's was not too far from where I grew up in Brick, New Jersey. I remember when they began franchising. They moved one about 5 miles away from the original one.
I saw tears in your eyes when you started talking about that breakfast sandwich.
That's childhood back then. They used to have the greatest breakfast sandwiches to go along with the greatest sandwiches overall. The pass is complete to the outside.
Okay, here's another perfect example of an experienced quarterback. This is what we call a corner fire. You're going to see the guy coming off the edge, and then he just pulls the ball out, throws it to the receiver, who does what we call a now, goes to where the vacated place is and steal the 10 yards.
Yeah, it's the freshman Dylan Bell. How big are these minutes for guys like Dylan Bell and Delp and people like that?
Well, this is, everybody comes out of the locker room meeting somebody. And when you come out of the locker room and have 2 catches, and everybody's talking about watching you play, it's a blast for everybody involved.
And there, Delp again. And Delp is spun inside the 25.
And that's why they're throwing the ball here. This is not to rub it in the noses of Auburn. They're trying to get touches for all these high-caliber recruits that have inner circles that are saying, hey, you could get the ball more here. You could get the ball more there. They want to get these guys some chances so they've got a little, puffed-up chest when they leave the locker room today and feel good about being a Georgia Bulldog.
Godey is in for the first time for Georgia. He's number 88. You see him lined up on the left side. Second down and 5. Bennett tried to go to the middle of the field for Delp, and he heard some footsteps. Pass was a little high.
Stetson's got to hit that pass. He wants it back.
Yeah, because he had him in rhythm. J.D. Rhyme was there, but he had him in rhythm.
He has certainly played winning football today, but he got a lot of hits last week. You wonder how much practice time he got this week. You can feel him kind of flinching with the defender getting close to his throwing arm. It moved his accuracy, and he'll grade himself down when he looks at the film.
Pressure's coming on third down. He'll step up, dumps it off underneath Edwards, and Edwards bounces inside the 10, the 5, toward the goal line. He's in. There is a flag down, however.
It looks like holding. We'll wait and see.
It's a shame, too, because that was a pretty nice catch and run by Edwards.
It's what we call an angle route. We'll wait and see.
Holding. Offense, number 50. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Third down.
So Warren Erickson is the right guard called for that penalty.
You can see him right here. He ends up getting caught, and that's easy for the referee to see.
Yeah.
You can see Edwards coming inside of the man-to-man defender, and Bennett does a beautiful job of climbing in the pocket and getting the ball tossed accurately this time. Touchdown, but not this day.
Well, Edwards remains in. You saw the penalties. Penalties have been a big part of today's game. Auburn with 10 penalties. Bennett has Delp wide open. He's got a first down, so he got the yards back.
What's the term? An embarrassment of riches?
Big time riches.
Oscar Delp. And I'm telling you, he looks like a reincarnation of number 19, Brock Bowers. Holy smokes. Just a beautiful athlete. Running a little corner route right over the top of the outside corner. Beautifully thrown. First down, Bulldogs.
All right, so they're back in the red zone. Look, they're 4 for 4 today. You know, they were 7 for 7 against Oregon, but other than that,
all of those really pounding the ball, too.
Yeah. They shovel it off to Robinson, and Robinson along the sidelines powers his way to the goal line. He's in. Touchdown, Georgia.
More maul ball.
15 yards. 5 for 5 inside the red zone. It's 41-10 Georgia.
I want you to watch big number 70 Warren McClendon. Watch it. Watch. He gets his block. Now watch him come follow. And he's going to dive in the end zone as if he's going to score. Atta baby, Warren.
Robinson with his first touchdown. A 15-yard run, and the point after to avoid the defense, and he gets up above the 30 to the 31-yard line. Would this Auburn team, and I know there's not much you can do about it because Calzada had the surgery, would they have been different under his guidance?
Well, you can't even quantify what it means to have an experienced quarterback that you can count on that understands what you're trying to accomplish offensively. It's absolutely critical. Playing without one is like playing with an arm behind your back.
Second down and 4. Ashford directing traffic, throwing on the run, throwing it up for grabs, and it's incomplete. And yet have Fair running in the open field.
And yet when you watch Ashford, you can say that we can make something to him. But again, you didn't have him in spring ball. You were not building an offense for his skill set. You were building an offense for everybody else. Zach Calzada, TJ Finley. And so when you get to a position where he's your guy, is there time to teach everybody else a quarterback run offense? That's really difficult.
In the middle of the season.
Yes.
In the SEC.
So you basically just, hunker down. As the great Tom Osborne said, use the eraser more than the pencil, and dwindle. And that's basically why you're seeing him stuck a little bit.
Schenker in motion. Ashford bounces away and throws on the run, but he overthrows his intended receiver. It'll be fourth down, and they'll punt again.
But all these, today, painful experiences are going to help him build into what is going to be an accomplished player. And what you worry about is the transfer portal, right? Because there are going to be somebody who says, we got to go get one, and somebody will come in the portal, and how long do you really get to teach him? That's going to be, patience is still a virtue.
McConkey back deep to receive. He calls for the fair catch. And he grabs it at 34. Well, Ashford today, 13 of 38, 165 yards, 1 touchdown. And here you go. That was, nobody was even there. He just fumbled it.
Yeah.
Frustrated.
One of those things you just can't, you got to learn from. Struggling with the little stuff, right? Struggling with the little stuff because there's so much going on in his head. So much going on. And that's even with eliminating. I know for a fact that Eric Keesaw is trying to get, just some basics done. And when he's doing basics, right? We said at halftime, when he's throwing to his tight end and his backs, he's right there. But it's so much going on. And he keeps seeing the rush. And this is a ferocious rush being offered by Georgia. You start bailing for the sidelines and there's no help.
Carson Beck is in instead of Stetson Bennett, with Georgia on top 42-10. He hands it off to Robinson. And Robinson gets a few yards up to the 36.
By the way, Carson Beck coming into this game, another 5-star, right, for Georgia.
Yes.
15 of 19.
Yep.
15 of 19 thus far on the year. The balls that he missed down the field.
Right.
Because he's going to say, I should have hit this one, I should have hit that one. And he's going to be self-critical. Then he's going to watch that long run over.
He's going to say, I like that one.
And over again. Oh, I would too.
Well, the Deep South's oldest rivalry is winding down, and for Auburn, they haven't won here since 2005. It's remarkable the run that Georgia has had during this series.
Remarkable program.
Yep.
The facilities,
everything,
the fan support. It's just it's a tribute to college football.
Second down at 7. They hand it off to Robinson. Robinson running left. Coming up on the college football post-game show presented by Rocket Mortgage. Adam, BJ, and Houston will bring you the day's best highlights from a busy day. College football.
Nice play by Jalen Simpson right there out the edge. Point of the game where you can make business decisions. Say, I don't need to take, and he didn't. He took it on.
With the 90,000 on hand here today. Many have decided to head toward the tailgates, which wrap up the day.
I know you stayed in, but Athens is rather a social town.
It's a great weekend town for college football. Here's Robinson again on 3rd down. Robinson trying to get to that first down marker, and Robinson does get to the first down marker. He's right at it. He might be a hair shy. We'll see how they spot it. As the clock winds, under 2 minutes to play.
He may be a hair short.
Yep.
Kirby would love to end this without putting his defense back out there, which is why he'll leave his offense. It's not to run up the score. He just doesn't want any injuries.
.265 yards on the ground for Georgia. It's the freshman Robinson in the backfield. Carson Beck, the quarterback. They hand it off to Robinson. He runs to his right. He's got the first down and more. He's inside Auburn territory. He's inside the 40-yard line. He's inside the 30-yard line before he's eventually taken out of bounds. Inside the Auburn 30. First down, Georgia. Donovan Kaufman made the tackle.
When you're going in 4th down and short yardage, everybody pinches the inside gap, which often creates an edge, an opportunity to break things outside. You can see that's exactly what happened. Just another example of great running with the pads low. It's been a clinic for Georgia running backs.
Yeah, it's today. A gain of 30 yards. That leaves him 2 yards shy of 100 for the game. And now it's victory formation for the Bulldogs on 1st and 10 as the clock winds.
2 yards short of 300.
He's 2 yards short.
Oh, he's 2 yards short. Where are they? They have to be close.
They're 5 yards short of 300.
Gotcha. Why would I ever correct the great Tom McCarthy?
1 minute to play.
I'm hanging my head in shame.
Well, we got to the other storyline on that one, though, too. They have over 500 yards of total offense here today.
Listen, Auburn are going to be saying, look, we got to get a new coach. It's always the fix. It's the fastest, situation to put a Band-Aid on it. Go get a new coach. There's no need to do that. This is a program in a building phase. Let this guy finish his job. If you make the decision at season's end, so be it. Yeah. But otherwise, hang in there.
Well, Georgia has won its 6th consecutive portion of the Deep South's oldest rivalry. They win it today in commanding second-half fashion by a final score of 42-10. Stetson Bennett, 22 of 32, 208 yards. He also had 64 yards on the ground, and he's down on the field with Cherry.
All right, thanks, Tom. Well, Stetson, another installment of Auburn, Georgia. A dominant performance for you guys. How do you describe this game?
I don't know. I don't have those kind of words, but I thought, it felt like we weren't having fun in the first half. And then once we started having fun and just playing football, not worried about stuff and just going and executing, we started scoring more points, especially on offense.
You told us that your first start against Auburn 2 years ago, you were nervous, out there looking confident. Do you feel like there was any of those nerves coming into this one?
No, I don't think so. I don't know what it is. I think we got to talk and just figure out